Oh my god, I need three Oh my Jesus. All right, cool.
And on that note, welcome to episode 7 of the
Fucking
Pot
it.
of Ages.
Is this the Pot of Ages?
This
Is
is
this that
the
podcast
the best podcast.
from those two dudes? You have no fucking clue who they are.
Yep, this is the best silver ranked insight podcast on YouTube.
I would definitely would have to agree with that. I feel like that it is improbable that that could be wrong.
I'm Doomfunk. Over here is Paradox Pope. We are recording this Thursday evening.
Yep, a little bit
A
later than usual.
little bit later than usual, but it actually ended up working out because a bit more has come out in the past day or so about some roster changes. That mostly around C9 is the only one that's been shown any. And
Astralis, actually,
oh yeah,
and relatably Immortals.
so what's going on with Astralis?
Astralis picked up Xerxes off of Immortals, and they picked up who else they pick up? They're basically rebuilding Splice's old roster. They might have picked up Cabashard, I want to say, or Vizicachi, whichever one was playing in the lower league.
All right,
So I think it was Vizicachi, right? Pretty sure. But yeah, so they picked up a new top laner, a new jungler. They still have Kabe, so that team is looking to level up piece by piece, which maybe it'll be something of substance. I don't know how much it'll matter in LEC. It'll probably just be like make it to fifth or sixth
they're just trying to make
potential.
playoffs. Yeah, trying to make playoffs.
Yeah, and like that team probably could do that. But yeah, that's relatable to me in the sense of so Immortals lost their jungler and they also picked up Ignar,
Okay,
and I don't. Does this mean are we gonna get Dardoch back in the LCS? I I don't
is it
know.
wasn't
I
isn't
honestly,
he
but
isn't he a
he's the
coach for Immortal?
coach. He's a coach on Immortals, yeah, and they just lost their jungler, and they picked up an import support, and they have Power of Evil in the mid lane. So like, is Dardoch back? That would be crazy. Like if I don't know. We'll see what like if he did bring him. If they did bring him back, let's see what he can do with the team. Like I don't know, but
I just want to
I
see him flame Poe.
oh yeah, that'd be sick. I want behind the scenes of Dardoch and Ignar together flaming PoE just because. But I don't know. I'm forever a Dardoch fanboy, so I would like it if he came back and was on a functional team, and we could have maybe a mature Dardoch that's coached well. But who knows?
Is there any news about what the fuck TSM is doing?
No. Nothing really. I don't think. There was that. They were working to get Bo from FPX. I was wrong. I was saying IG last time is FPX he played for. But to my understanding of the rumors, that has fallen through, and Bo is just with a talent agency that's does deals with the West. So we'll see what pans out there. I don't know what the fuck TSM is going to do. If they don't get Bo, then I've got literally honestly no hype for the team. I love Hooney, but unless he returns to Holo Holo Hooney, I just don't. It doesn't mean anything to me. It'd be sick if he did, but players playing at their ceiling.
So the Wooloo leak was that LCS will have more roster changes than LEC.
I could believe that. Didn't Dignitas pick up Maple?
I don't know. To be
I
perfectly honest, my head has been in a hole of Magic the Gathering for the past week, and new job. So
I
I haven't
honestly
seen a
don't
lot of
think that.
news.
I don't think there's been a lot of news. I think there's a lot of speculation floating around right now
Well,
as far as what these teams are doing. So,
uh,
C9 Summit is basically presumed gone, and people are like, it's looking like that roster is going to be Fudge, Blabber, Copy, Berserker, Sven. If
I
they get a
I
more
can
exciting
respect
mid
the
laner,
fuck if Sven actually goes support to like.
I agree.
also like
I think that'd be fine. It'd be fun
to
to watch
also
those
like
three.
kind of mentor Berserker a bit as like a veteran ADC and like showing him some things he might not be seeing. Even that Berserker is a team fighting beast, but definitely
Sven could
punishable in
definitely
lane.
level up his laning. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be really cool to watch that growth. Um,
for sure. I think that team, like if they get a more interesting mid laner with the fact that Jensen is still out there somewhere. I don't know where he's going either. There's no real speculation yet. But if C9 can get a more interesting mid laner than Copy, I would be interested to see how that team could be. But I don't think Sven as support with a random mid laner that might only be B to C tier at best is going to mean anything for that team on a realistic scale of being like top three.
yeah,
Like I don't think that sounds like it beats 100 Thieves. And 100 Thieves, I honestly consider like that's the bar. Like this is what LCS teams should be at least if they're good, quote unquote. But every team that's going to be international has to be better than 100 Thieves, 100%. Like that's the this is a wild card champion bar. You know,
yeah.
you must be above this to ride the international ride. So
I mean, with like FBI and who he are the like they're
dude, can we
they're
talk
the
about how?
gatekeeping bot lane.
Yeah,
Um,
except unless it's playoffs. Like fucking
but they're the
shit.
gatekeeping bot lane. That they are. You must be better than this bot lane to be good.
Isn't like let's step back for a second. Bot lane in North America is so weird because every bot lane except for Han's core, minus in the last two series, are bad. Like especially in lane, they are pretty completely like you and I as a duo might actually survive in lane against some fucking LCS bot lanes in a stage environment if they were playing like it was a stage game. Obviously, they would fucking ruin us in scrims because they'd play like they had hands. But on the stage, like none of the bot lanes are good in lane. Like fucking all of like even EG with Danny Vulcan. I love Danny. I think Danny is like I know the conversation right now is around Danny and JoJo, but I really think Danny is the next like superstar of the LCS. He's the next double lift. If JoJo can become good
Well,
and can be as good as Bjergsen was or something, that'd be sick. But I really do think
Danny
Danny's the
has all
talent.
of the skill and none of
Yeah,
the personality, whereas
dude, he's got
JoJo,
plenty of personality. He's just the unassuming kind.
guy really doesn't
It'll
have a
come out.
personality.
It's gonna come out as he starts to grow and become confident. It's gonna be hysterical. I mean, his fucking Twitter handle's Lord Danny. Come on,
Yeah,
it's in there. It'll come out. JoJo's gonna bring
uh,
it out too.
JoJo should bring it
But
out of
yeah,
him. But
but even they were getting killed in lane. Like FBI Huhi looked like a fucking coin flip because Huhi just looked like you could kill him 3 times in lane maybe every other game. You know. And then what else are we gonna talk about? Like Berserker Isles, like we know that's not a good laning bot lane. Like there's none of them. It's fucking ridiculous, honestly. They're all gonna get complete like I can't wait to see EG like play maybe SKT, but goddamn Kuma Carrier is going to run through Danny Vulcan and it's gonna be hysterical unless they
I
really
want to
level
talk
up.
about that in a little bit. Um,
We'll get there, we'll get there.
I do
We were
want to
talking
talk
about
about
roster changes.
Niski going to
Yep.
Mad Lions is all but confirmed.
Yep. That is basically confirmed. Jizuke
Um,
is going to a minor league,
that's
returning
cool.
to yeah. I'll watch. He's going to Giants. I'll watch games with Jizuke just to make sure he's still popping off. Honestly, I miss
He's
that guy. I wish he was
he's in,
still
he's
in the
in, he's
game.
in a, he's in a, he's in a school with some kids for sure. He's gonna have fun. He's gonna have fun. He's a guy who likes to have fun.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Him co-streaming with Dom for the finals was pretty entertaining. Honestly, I enjoyed it.
yeah, I pretty much listened to I pretty much watched the finals on mute because I was at work.
Yeah, it's fair.
Um,
Honest. Oh man, the finals were.
so we pretty much
We'll get
covered
there.
our
We'll get
changes.
there.
Let's talk.
Are we finished with roster changes? Are we talking about? Is there anything else happening in LCS? LEC, nothing. LEC. There might be some jungle changes on Fnatic. I don't think Matt is going to get rid of Aluya if they brought in Niski. They clearly still want to make runs.
Yeah, I think it's just get Reeker out, get Niski in there, and
I feel like the
I'm
rest of the
not a
team
big fan of
changes already
Armut.
announced.
Not a big fan of Arbit.
Oh, dude, what are you talking about? Wukong just got buffed. Armin's about to smurf his fucking face off.
Unless it's banned, and
I mean,
then
if that's the case, then you're banning Wukong against a team that has like Niski.
okay, but then you're playing 4v5.
I know, but like it doesn't matter. Niski El Yoya is going to win the game for you
But
because
can
he
you really
wasted a ban
ban
in the
out
top lane.
Niski?
But you can't ban out Niski El Yoya. And we already know Niski is a player who empowers his jungler, and El Yoya is a good jungler. So like
Yeah.
that
So
mid
you
duo is going
remove
to
the
be very
carry
strong.
potential from the top lane. You go, okay,
Yeah,
this guy's not doing that, and then you have two more
and
bans.
exactly, and then we're gonna put Armid on tanks because it's going to about to be the tank meta in the West, and like it doesn't matter, he's going to be weak side forever.
Unless El Yoya plays the Wukong.
Yo-Yo could flex the Wukong because he's gonna like, Wukong's gonna be strong. We're going to talk about the patch and stuff too, and like
Um,
what the meta might be, but
but yeah, so I wanted to bring this up
I think that's all the rosters.
about finals weekend because G2 and EG had very similar runs. G2 making the perfect 12-0, whereas EG did the 12 and
Won
1
the game. Yeah,
against FlyQuest.
second best team in the league.
Could be. Um, but so there's been a lot of talk on other podcasts and such of the teams against both these teams just didn't look good, and sometimes a good team plays against the team, and the better team makes the other team look bad.
But
Now, was it more of a so? What was it that was it that these teams actually did level up and find their groove and kind of like have a couple close games and really just get behind the mental of the teams and then just wipe the floor with them? Or was it the teams facing G2 and EG just fucking had bad weeks and just were complete trash?
I don't I think it's a bit of both for sure. I think I don't want to undermine some of the performances of some of those players like in those series. Like Caps played the
Captain
rest of the
Yankos
playoffs
was insane.
well. Yeah, yeah, and Yankos was crazy. Yeah, and then on the EG side, I think Impact, like especially in game two, was literally 1v9. And if you can't like literally he won that game by himself. I know everyone else on the team played well, but if you really like just look and extrapolate like what the drafting was, the team dynamics, the team fight, like god damn it, Impact's just completely destroyed them by himself. And Danny had a pop off performance in a lot of spots. Like these players played well, but all it takes is literally watching like a different series in the playoff to understand that the team they played against didn't play well. I don't think is as true with the 100 Thieves. I think 100 Thieves is a team that is punishable, and a lot of their wins are heavily dependent on closer momentum. And I think Closer is a good player, and that makes sense. It's fine, but I think it's pretty fair to see that 100 Thieves was pretty much beaten. Like EG is the better team than 100 Thieves. I honestly believe that. But
Yeah,
if
I
you look
firmly
at the
believe
Liquid
it was going to be
series,
the winner of the losers bracket was going to beat 100
yeah,
Thieves.
and if you look at the Liquid series, all you have to do is literally watch Hans Core to understand that team did not play what they were. You know, like, and you can go back to regular season games and just watch Hans and Core literally shit on everyone. You know, like I don't think Santorin honestly played bad. Like the Smite thing happened, I don't blame
I think
Santorin, and he played the rest of the series well.
Santorin deserved a win in that whole fight.
Yeah, dude,
His
he
team let
restored his
him
mental
down. Like
for
that
sure.
guy was playing his ass off. I think he was probably the best jungler out of the three teams in all those games.
It's hard to say. Inspired honestly did play well too.
Inspired played
I
really well, but I
like
think
game two in the Hundred Thieves series, or no, in the TL series when Inspired was on Diana with JoJo on Yasuo. Like that game, Inspired smurfed his fucking face off. Like that game was a stomp. That was the least close game of all of the series against Team Liquid for sure. But like Inspired played that series well. But Santorin, yeah, like his game three especially, his early game was super crisp. You know, it's sad. It
there
sucks.
was an
It
interview
sucks.
with Bjergsen after the finals. Travis interviewed him after the losers finals, and from what Bjergsen was saying is that the team needs to refine their comms a lot. That there's too many voices. Too many voices. And they need to have that refined. And I personally just like watching them play. Um, I think the bot lane has an identity. Um, I like Hans on like things like the Ash. I want to see him come in on the Callista 2 and the Jin and play these ADCs that can do damage but are very utility based. And if they do that, like then you have one or two people on the top side that can carry. But I think it really needs to be like Bwipo needs to tune up his tank game a little bit.
It's the meta read there, you know? Like, I think Whippo is amorphous, and that is a strength when you're utilizing that. But I think Liquid lacks identity. I think that's a pretty basic thing to say, and it's pretty fair. Uh, I agree, but honestly, I think they need to play through Han's strength more, and they need to get him off of the utility. Like, I know he plays the champions well, but I don't want to see Han Sama on Ashe. I want to see Han Sama on Draven. I want to see them like I want to see them leverage the best mechanical player on the roster and actually win games through him and like act like, yeah, this is the win condition. Like Bwipo is amorphous, we can put him on anything, so therefore he is weak side kingdom. You know, we play through the bot lane. We should have a mid laner that is ready to play the map, and the jungler should help him play the map. But like, unless Bjergsen decides he's ready to return to season 4 form where he's ready to play and carry games, you have to play the utility in the mid lane and play through your carry. Because Hans is that carry. Hans is the best ADC in the West. So you have to play like you have the best ADC in the West. Pretend that dude is double lift, even though he's not selfish like double lift. Make him play like double lift because he is better than double lift. So like just
True.
act like treat him like double lift, but if double lift smiled and said thank you, you know, like I don't know. But like you have to leverage that. And I think that was clearly the problem. Like when they picked Ash and they had against playing against an Ornn, I could have like closed the stream right there. I'm like, you guys are fucking done. You are so dumb. You are so completely out of the game of like playing. You guys are doing stupid shit. Like what is this Ash Zyra bot lane and then you're not even playing to it like heavily. Like fuck, you hit the and then like so you didn't snowball your advantage and now you have a useless ADC at 20 minutes. Because the Ornn's going to walk in front of Ash and it's going to take 20 minutes for Ash to kill him, so who cares? And if the rest of the team isn't strong, I don't even remember what Whippo picked into the Ornn that game. Was that Natrox game?
Against EG?
Uh, yeah. What was that game? I think that was game 3.
I think that was the Gangplank.
It was the Gangplank. He played Gangplank. Yeah. Now Gangplank should do damage, but I don't think they just didn't execute that properly either. So it was just weird to see, honestly. Like watching Liquid in that series, especially, it's just like this isn't even the 5 nameplates. Like these aren't even like Core's not playing like Core. Bjergsen is a ward. Bwipo is just inting his lane with no direction because the team doesn't have an identity to play to. Because he doesn't know. Like he's Ditto. Except guess what? You're not even using transform. You're just standing there as Ditto and getting beaten to fucking death. You know, because you don't know what to be. And that's I think the problem. They have to play like that. Like and fuck. I also want to say just randomly, do I fucking hate Twisted Fate? Like, I can't believe these teams are still locking this shit in. Like, this shit's gone like 1-9 or some shit in playoffs. Like, stop playing this fucking champion. I don't care if it pops off in scrims. It's not good. And it's not good for this meta. I know it's like, I'm probably the only person in the fucking world who's going to say that, but like, stop playing this shit. Like, if you want to play that style, use Galio at least. God, like, Galio is just better in this meta, in my opinion. I just think he is. Or Pantheon. I think Pantheon right now is actually apparently stronger. Apparently Faker's been spamming that. But like if you want to play the globals, just like get off the fucking TF, dude. Everyone knows how to play against it now.
And its damage has been nerfed into the fucking dirt.
Yeah, like you are literally just playing gold card rapid fire cannon. Like that's the whole point of this champion. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I get to carry Everfrost and I'm gonna fucking stun you point and click from a long time away. I know that's really important when like there's Zeres and shit, but if Zeri is nerfed into the ground, I think Crit Zeri is probably still strong, but if Zeri is nerfed into the ground has lower priority, you don't have to worry about playing that anymore. You know, the Gale Force just got nerfed on cooldown a little bit. That's gonna be relevant, you know. So I hope that Liquid finds direction and figures this out and becomes the team it should be. But I am going to be honestly heartbroken if I look at this roster at the end of this year and just think they should have just kept Jensen. They should have just not paid for Bjergsen and kept Jensen and then had this roster built around Jensen. Because at this point, you're going to have a hard time convincing me that Jensen probably wouldn't have performed better than Bjergsen this split. Because he's in form, he's practiced, and Steve could have saved some money. So, like, on 3 levels, that would have been pretty tragic, especially if they get to the international stage and Bjergsen shits the bed again.
Yeah.
Whereas Jensen was the only NA mid laner to ever perform on the international stage. Like, if all of that happens again, I'm just like, it's like, bruh. I'm glad that the old guard is officially dead now, and I'm glad EG has at least won the championship in spring. Maybe we'll see how summer goes, but like, thank God they won one championship because clearly, like, there's no point in expecting these names and these old school mindsets to win because they should understand.
Yeah,
Like,
JoJo is really refreshing. Um, Having someone who like when he's like focusing on his development, like he shut the fuck up, he stopped trash talking, and then fucking started making this run in playoffs. He's like turning it back on, like, and is obviously learning really quick. His comms are insane.
yeah, no, I
Like
think that's the craziest
the
thing about
kid's
him,
smart.
honestly, because he's smarter about the game than he's better like in the mind about the game than he plays it, and he's only played the game for 2 years.
Like
So
I
it's
keep
crazy that
hearing,
he understands those things
I
so
keep
well.
hearing. I really only hear Dom and Thorin talk about this of how like when he's like you watch him on the mini map and he's like going off into a spot and they're like the only reason why he can get away with these plays is because his team he knows his team's there to support him. I'm like, well yeah. Like that's that's it's
That's the
not a
game.
dumb play if you know that your team if you can go do something and you know that your team will be there to back you
That's
up.
your team making a play,
That's
basically.
called the game because he's on the comms calling it out as he's doing it. Like the
I
guy's
do think it's yeah.
actually fucking getting really good at this game, and it's getting really fun to watch. I'm
I
really
would love
excited to watch
yeah.
him because he's going to be in groups against G2 at MSI.
I I honestly think it's gonna be interesting to see how he plays after being on Korean server for a month and scrimming against LCK teams and
I
shit.
mean, dude, when you're
That is going to
17,
be
so like him and Danny
yeah.
being 17, 18, like there's like you can absorb so much information and apply those changes so quickly that like
Well, Danny especially, I think, is going to be the prodigal son because he's been playing the game since he's like 6.
yeah,
You
no,
know, like that's the
Danny's hands
craziest
are going to
shit.
be amazing, and if he starts getting on comms more, because the comms I have heard
No,
of Danny is pretty sad, but
he doesn't need to talk. He doesn't need to. That's
but
fine.
like JoJo being the shot caller, like those two are going to go far, and especially if they stay together. Like I don't think
You
EG
know,
is doing anything to break up this roster anytime soon. Like their experiment paid off.
we need to
Like
talk about the coaching staff for sure. Like Peter Dunn is fucking just there needs to be more coaches in the scene like him. Like you gotta like this dude was scouting JoJo before he was even actually in the fucking US scene. Like I remember when he was like in between the EG Mad Lions swap, but like was still in Europe and like was on a podcast talking, and they're like, he was like, hey, "Do you know about this JoJo Pion kid? I've been watching some of his games. This kid's fucking crazy. He's the future. I tell you, this is gonna be the next thing." And this was like in fucking like 2019 or something stupid, you know? Like it was probably like 2020, but like that like the point is that like while every other organization is fucking around with like one NA name that's kind of understood at least
we're just
you have
like
someone
swapping
in
around,
fucking LEC
like trying to find someone who's played for years and like bring them on, like and bring them on, even though they're fucking mediocre and
but
trash.
understands what you can look for in a player that is like, oh, this is what skill is. This isn't just somebody abusing a one trick because even JoJo was like a Diana one trick at the time. Like he wasn't playing huge amounts of champions, but like you can look at one tricks and see how they play and understand like, oh, this dude is either just punishing a kit that's has these things that's kind of cheesy and easy to like catch people out with, or like, no, this person's playing well. And when you listen to Jojo talk about like in game about the game, you understand that yeah, he understands the game. It's not that he just knew this one thing and could fucking outfinger you, you know, like it's it's good to see. It gives you an idea, like some hope that NA can like produce these players, but it's also really important to honestly point out there's not like 5 and 6 or 7 or a dozen more of these players here. You know, we found them. Here they are. Maybe there's one or two more, but
No,
you know,
but it's gonna be the thing like fucking football. Like people scout a guy in high school and they're like, oh, this guy's has the mentality and has like these qualities. Let's get him into our college and then we can groom him for the NFL. There needs to be layers of talent scouting.
yeah. And but the crazy thing is, it's important to notice, like honestly point out, NA does that. The problem is there's literally just only 4 of these players. But
Dude,
guess what? They're all already signed.
dude,
100 Thieves has fucking General Sniper and Kanavi. Other 2 big names not yet of age, but those are the next 2. And then, EG had JoJo and Danny. And guess what? That's it. C9 already nabbed Black
well,
Blabber Vulcan. That was that generation before. So you get like
NA
2
doesn't do
every like
this.
2 years.
Like we don't have like a league like EU where we have like the small European leagues where like old
But no,
pros
but
go and
General
play
Sniper
while
is
there's.
playing.
Oh, but
He's playing
let
on
me
100 Thieves
let,
next, you know?
let me finish this point. We don't have a a a good circuit for these fucking people to play in, or like to for teams to put them in this. Like we have academy, which is half full of old pros and half full of people who will never leave academy. And
Yeah, but you have to be, and that's the field you have to be better
and
than
we
to
don't
be
have,
LCS.
but they don't bring up they're hardly ever bringing up new people. Like our
Well, yeah, but like
like
whenever they get old enough, they do.
we don't have a college circuit that's worthwhile because college like some colleges do offer like small scholarships for esports and shit. But I looked at a couple colleges and their coaches are players on the team, and it's like their team is full of a bunch of one tricks, and the only requirement is you have to be plat and
I
you're
mean,
on the team.
that's the pool though, like that's what's available. That's the problem. Like the small population does matter and it does translate to these things. Maybe the collegiate circuit could be built up to mean more, but the biggest thing is by the time you're collegiate age, the LCS wants you if you're that good.
Okay, it's the
Like,
same thing with the fucking
so
NBA. Like if when you're
yeah,
there's
exactly.
people fucking graduating high school, they're like the NBA wants you, and it's like
The
okay,
collegiate league being good is completely irrelevant because of that point, in all honesty. Let's be real. And there are currently leagues that exist for these young players to practice in, and it's mostly them playing, scouting grounds and shit like that. And they do play other amateur teams and they play the academy teams. But, that's the thing. Like all the big names that are even still coming, they are already tied to organizations. 100 Thieves has the next 2 coming. C9 brought up the 2 that we knew before. EG is bringing up these 2 now. So once the other good players are 18, they're going to be on 100 Thieves.
well, and hopefully this
And
is
that's,
another part of this point that I was getting to is that hopefully these new players doing well also let other new younger
yeah,
players go, oh
keep
wait,
popping up.
I can make it there. I can do this.
Hmm.
Because that's like why you don't. Because you have your parents in one ear saying, what the fuck are you doing? You're never going to make a living doing that. And
But,
then you
you
have.
do and you don't. Because you're at the point now where, like, if you are 14 and you hit rank 1, somebody will talk to you.
That's an extreme
They're
situation
going to know who you
of
are.
hitting rank 1 instead of being like this person
This is
has the
this is
mind, has
NA.
the talent. Oh, let me get my fucking point out, man. God
Okay.
damn. You've been interrupting me every step of this goddamn point.
All right.
And
What's the point?
making my change my fucking thing is younger talent's going to have like something to be like, oh, we can do this, and hopefully teams start looking towards not just like scouting grounds and stuff, but looking for to open up new ways to let talent through. Like some investment in the collegiate circuit. Even having, because like our ping around here is fucking atrocious. You go all over the U.S., it's all fuck up. So, but like take like looking for people, like having opens and stuff, like having more of like an actual like like lower competitive amateur scene, like opens. I really hope that like more and more colleges start to actually like invest in their esports things, because if they can be like known for fucking like bringing up people and like, oh, we've had 3 players from our school go into the LCS. Like I just I want esports to be taken more seriously at the younger ages, so we can get more of these fucking good players. Like instead of just having kids who are just like, I don't like people, and I'm gonna play my video games and I'm gonna get really good at it and hopefully one day I make it, and be like, people can put the time in and it's actually like encouraged a bit instead of them just playing a video game. Like
Definitely.
people can play football and play basketball and they can be mediocre at it, but they're playing a game that has renown to it. So it doesn't matter how bad they are. Oh, they're on the high school team. Like your kid's fucking getting 5 minutes of play in a 45-minute game. Like shut the fuck up. Like I want like because like I that's where I would have been with Call of Duty. But like I had my parents for years saying stop playing this fucking video games while I'm sitting there fucking top 5 on my online ladders. And then so I never really fucking continued with it. Like and now they're like, "Oh, you could have been making money doing that?" I'm like, "Yeah. Yeah."
I
So,
think I think exposure is a lot of the answer to that. And I think like things like having worlds in NA is a good part of that. But I do think it's like I just think in general it's important to note that honestly all of the talent in NA is at this point scouted. The most disheartening thing is just how few orgs are doing it. Like EG and 100 Thieves are really the only ones really pushing the next generation, whereas the other big names, the tried and tested, they're holding on to the old guard because these are the things that are more understood and they want the results now.
or in TSM's case, just going fucking completely
Yeah.
overseas.
Yeah, I mean, just go LNG or no, was it LNG? No, LMQ. Go LMQ all over again. So I just I do think, once like General Sniper is of age, like obviously his family is more involved and understands the market, so I'm sure his parents are all on board with him practicing and really getting good. I'm curious honestly if he will be as good as the hype around him is. I honestly don't know if he'll be better than like Danny yet. I've watched a lot of his streams. He is definitely good and he is young, but we'll see how far it goes. And then,
I mean, Danny
Konami
has
is
set a new
the name.
bar of.
Yeah, Danny is like thank God for Danny, for real. But it's funny when you look back at the NA talent. Oh man, it's like oof. Before Danny, like this best NA player that came. Actually, I suppose before Blabber. Before Blabber, the best NA player that had come around for a long time was honestly probably like Dardoch. Because I'm not sure how many people remember watching his first split, but holy fuck was he good. Like some crazy plays. I miss being able to see that. Like it was weird back in like 2000 and or season 6, season 5. Like you see these teams that seemed better, but maybe because the game wasn't as well flushed out and understood by the masses, so the gap was more obvious. I don't know. Hopefully we'll see it.
Also, like the 1v9 true 1v9s were able to happen back then.
Yeah, true,
Like
very true.
like it is much more a team game now than it ever has been.
Unless you're Danny, you don't
I,
need nobody.
Hey man,
Just need Baron to die.
an ADC can't get that far into the game without his team around him.
Yeah, but he also died in lane like twice.
Yeah,
So,
you die in lane, and then your team funnels you thousands of gold over the
oh, I
next
know.
15 minutes, and then
But
you're
that
like,
was Hundred
oh
Thieves. That was Hundred Thieves. Different series.
no, they still. If you look at every game, they still like they funneled him a lot in that, but they still like in
In
TL
game one,
series they'll walk away Like they stop hitting, and then so he can walk up. They body block him so he can walk up and get the fucking last hit. It's like
That was the 100 Thieves game
no,
one.
that was a TL.
Yeah.
That was a TL game too. It was
Which one?
I think
Is that game
it was
two?
Bjergsen in the pit.
No, that was Abadage, dude.
Was it?
Yeah, like, that's a 100 Thieves game. That's game one of 100 Thieves with the Twisted Fate in the pit. Yeah, they just
Okay.
murders. Yeah, that's 100 Thieves game one. That is a clinic on how to have a solo carry. If you are somebody who cares about like learning what strategy is in the game and like how you execute strategies, that is how you play around one player. That is the
It's
like
also how you get
perfect.
your ADC back in the game. Who's gonna be like who's
Well, in the
like
100 Thieves series, I don't even think EG was ever meaningfully behind.
he
100
was
Thieves
he was
looked
getting
pretty lost in that series. You know, like
all
they
right.
felt gapped.
All right. So how do you think they're gonna do against G2 in best of ones?
I think they could go 1-1
Yeah.
straight up. They could do it. They could take a game. Like G2 turned great in playoffs and hit playoff mode and stuff, but like we don't like it doesn't necessarily mean that Flacket and Targamas are going to be as good as they were. Like I really do believe in Yanko's caps and Broken Blade. I don't expect to get like gapped, but Impact is can handle Broken Blade, and
He has
Inspired is a
he
yeah,
has for a long
exactly.
time.
And Inspired has handled Yankos. Like that's not a matchup that he's going to be scared of. He's done it. Like that's fine. That's an understood quality. So like JoJo Caps is the only real gap in my head, really. And I think Caps
I
will gap him.
I want to
But
see
bot lane,
JoJo not try to disrespect Caps, but try to go head to head a little bit and really test himself.
I want JoJo to shave his head when he plays against the day one when he plays against Caps. I want him to just come out bald on that day and just be like, that's what I want.
Um, so what's the other group? It's T1 RNG.
Is T1 RNG together?
It's two groups, right?
I think there's more for some reason. There's three.
It's three groups. Okay.
Yeah, it's Group A is Detonation Focus Me, Saigon Buffalo, T1, and Team Aze. I don't know where Aze is from, but this isn't even a fucking. That's not even fair. T1 has no competition. Group B is Istanbul Wildcats, PSG Talon, Red Canids, and Royal Never Give Up. Again, this is kind of hysterical. It's just RNG, PSG. This is T1, probably. I guess Buffalo or Dead. I don't know. DNF lost Aria, and yeah, Group C is G2 Evil Geniuses Order. I think is the piece.
I
Those.
think that group draw was rigged to make sure that LEC and and LCS get out of groups.
I mean, like you could have put G2 or Evil Geniuses in Group B, and it would have been free. Honestly, like there's no like there's no real competition outside of the Asian teams, outside of like T1 and RNG in the other groups. I was listening to the I think the face check this today, and Dom made a really honestly great point. What do the wild card regions matter if all of their best players get taken at the end of any good year? Like the best player in Japan was Arya, a Korean mid laner. Guess what? He's back in LCK. You know, you have Doggo who was playing crazy for fucking PSG
And he
last year
took
for
Uzi's
you know,
spot.
yeah, he's fucking in LPL now, Doug. And then like what Maple River? Guess what? LCS. Like what players matter anymore? You really only have the ones that are like older veterans that are like probably only like B tier on mechanics anyway, and they're just good leaders and game leaders and stuff. You know, like have the gel factor, but like I don't think the current wildcard regions are going to be good enough. They're going to need another 2 or 3 years to build up to be good, and then all their best players will just get taken again. So who cares? You know. But we'll see. Hopefully, EG doesn't drop stupid games.
No,
I
because
just want to see
I
them
want to
level up.
see I want to see them level up. I want to see them face a really good team in a best of five.
Yeah. But here's a bigger question: do you think Grandpa Impact will let them not get out of groups? I don't.
No.
I think he'll just pull the Bwipo in the 100 Thieves lock-in games where he just literally 1v9s. Like hard 1v9s. I feel like I could see all of Evil Geniuses running it down and literally Impact like Giga smurfing his face off and winning games. I don't know why, but I could see it.
Impact wants to win another world championship, and he's like, "I'm gonna teach you kids how to play some League of Legends."
I think weirdly and oddly enough, Impact is making his case for at least being like top 3 greatest players of all time. Like it's hard to say that with like a confidence, but like you could make the arguments now. Start to get to the point. He's been playing this game competitively like for 10 fucking years. He won Worlds in 20 goddamn 13. He won Worlds 9 fucking years ago. And I just watched him completely hard carry game 2 of a finals in 2022. You know, he's won LCS championships for Cloud9, for Team Liquid, for Evil
Evil
Geniuses.
geniuses.
Dude, like this dude, he has LCK championship, OGN, but LCK championship, like god damn, like fucking impact, man. Like what a fucking beast. Mad respect always.
Love the guy.
I, li- I like that team. I hats off to Peter Dunn. I think he's created a very interesting roster, very easy to be excited about.
Yeah, no, it took them a minute to really gel together, but they definitely found their groove at the perfect time.
Yep. Moments of
Um,
greatness and lock in, and then it turned it on for playoffs.
and I'm really excited to see.
The G2 matchup.
Yeah, if Caps is Claps, JoJo
Poor
doesn't stand a
JoJo.
chance. Doesn't stand a
Poor
goddamn chance.
JoJo.
I
Poor
mean,
JoJo.
really, if Caps is Claps, the only mid laner at the there's only two mid laners at that tournament that have a chance.
I mean, but they have more than a chance. Like I, I, I think RNG is beatable right now, honestly, for the Western teams. I don't think LP. I think the LPL is like this is the weakest they've looked in a long time. I forgot I didn't get a chance to say it. I also want to throw out and make a note. All of the finals in all 4 major regions were honestly shit. There was not one real contest there, and it's even kind of hard to say like, oh, is Genji at T1 or was TES RNG the closer series? Because neither of those, like, they had close moments, but I think maybe LCK was maybe the closest.
That's what
There
makes
was not a lot of
MSI
competition.
even more exciting for me personally.
Yeah,
Is that we have these obviously best team each region, and let's see how they stack up. Unfortunately, this is going to be the final segue because I want this one to be a little bit shorter. Um, MSI is going to be played on a 35 ping for everybody. Um, so welcome to MSI in North America.
dude, literally, Koreans are gonna have to play on 3 times more ping than they've ever experienced in their entire fucking lives. I think with the ping especially, EG could make it to finals if they completely pop the fuck off.
I
Like
mean, these
other
guys
teams will have to
play on
perform
35
badly.
ping every day.
Exactly, yeah. And like these other teams will have to perform badly. I'm gonna say that right now. Like it's not that EG's better. But these other teams will have to perform badly, but G2 could not perform great. Like they had a great playoffs, but not a good split. Like who knows what we'll get. Like EG could beat them. I'm not strong chances. They could beat RNG, not strong chances. And then they would definitely probably get completely gigafucked by T1, but they could make a finals run. And if fucking JoJo goes to MSI finals in his first split, holy fuck, the storylines are going to start exploding. Like
I
this,
think
we're
I do
getting there
think that
now.
T1 could beat almost any other team on a fucking 100 ping, just because their goddamn macro is immaculate.
Faker could
It
probably,
was perfect this year. Like I've it was so good.
honestly, I think they could give Faker no keyboard and that he could probably still beat most of these teams.
You just play Yumi.
No, 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 no. He's playing mages with just the mouse, clicking his spells and then aiming them and shit. I think Faker with just the mouse could beat some of these teams in best series right now because T1 just is that good. I think that could happen, but
I
I
think
think
I
they're the
beat
clear
him on a
favorites for
trackpad,
MSI.
Put them on a trackpad.
Oh, dude. Also, I forgot. I have to make this point. I have to make this point. How weird is it that out of all of the players from Rogue last year, Inspired is the one that won a title to split? Because Han Sama went to Super Team Liquid, Rogue placed first in LEC Spring, and Evil Geniuses Inspired, who barely squeaked into playoffs, is the one who finally gets the bag. Larson and Odo, no trophy. Hans, no trophy. Inspired on the throwaway at A team gets the fucking bag. How funny is that? Oh, so funny. That's so weird. If you asked people out of all of these four players 3 weeks ago, which one, if only one is winning it, if only one group is winning a trophy, which team is winning? None of them would have said fucking Evil Geniuses.
Wait,
Everyone would have said Rogue.
has TL since releasing Impact won a championship?
Um, they haven't won one without double lift. I don't remember the top laner transition time. Like when who was did
It was 20.
Alfari replace Impact?
Yeah,
That was the swap.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
because he
was
went to TL, he went to EG then.
so it was because last year was
And
Alfari. It was
yes,
spring. It was spring of C9.
yep.
Summer was 100 Thieves.
Then yes, because TL has not won since 2019 summer.
Yeah, no. TL has not won a championship since Impact left. And if you remember that, he was always on tank duty because it was the double lift show.
Yeah, but he played Rumble and stuff in Aatrox still.
He played Aatrox at Worlds. He didn't really play Aatrox in the split, but Aatrox at Worlds,
He played
and
in MSI.
he went
MSI.
off. Oh my god!
It
I
was
thought
the the MSI tournament especially. 2019 MSI. Impact was the best player on the team. Impact or Jensen, one of the two.
I think 2019 Worlds, it was like between Impact and Jensen, just like they were like going back and forth of who was doing better. They just never really synced up.
Yeah, I can't. It's something like I seem to remember Jensen not doing great in some of the games, but I don't remember many of them from that group stage very well. So
Yeah,
it's Impact. Yeah, no, Impact's a big deal. Honestly,
my man
like
has made an impact on League of Legends. I had to
it's
throw that out
pretty.
there. He's a very impactful player. Uh,
Well, since
and
we're at MSI now, we might as well talk a little bit about the patch before we break things down completely. The patch notes are out. I mean, LOL, fucking Mordekaiser just got a buff, not a huge one, but you might still see him. The new Swain is strong.
is the new Swain out now?
Yeah, it's strong. They hotfixed it once already. I've seen a lot of clips of it literally being unkillable. I would be amazed if we did not see Swain at MSI. I would also be completely flabbergasted if we did not see some Karthus jungle at MSI. We are definitely seeing some Silas if people want to keep playing Twisted Fate because they're monkeys.
I was so hyped that game where Bjergsen picked the Silas, and I was like, yes, let's go. And then they lost, and I was
Dude,
not okay with
Pearson,
that.
I just,
Because his Silas
I
game in the
don't.
beginning of the season or in Lock-in or something, it was really good. It's really good.
It's just so crazy that that was that's Bjergsen. Those are the playoffs, and that was it. Like God, fucking Jensen's not playing.
C9
No good mid
Jensen.
laners, no good mid laners all year, and then JoJo just cleans it up a little bit and wins a championship. It's just weird. We literally have no good mid laners. Jungle is completely stacked in NA though, weirdly enough.
ADC is pretty stacked.
Yeah, ADC is not bad.
Supports are decently stacked.
We have at least a good handful of sports.
Um,
Vulcan, man,
I will say,
underrated NA talent.
top lane, very top heavy.
Korean heavy.
Um, well, I mean, like Whippo when he's on his game is insane. Uh, so I've been a Someday fan for years, and the man showed up this season.
But not in playoffs.
No,
100 Thieves in the finals just looked like there was only one moment that I thought that they could have a chance to win a game, and it was when Closer almost got the complete sweep on Viego in game 3, but he got CC'd and shut down before he could finish it. Like 3 people were almost dead in front of him, like it was Reset City about to happen, but he got shut down. And like in that moment, right before he got CC'd, it was like, this is the only moment 100 Thieves has looked like they could win a game right here. And then he got killed. It was like, oh, no, it's gone.
and it's
No
over.
W's for you. Go home 3-0. FBI, open up. Impact's favorite fucking joke. I can't remember who said it or what podcast it was on, but that was something that they mentioned is just like, for whatever reason, whenever we would scrim against FBI, Impact is always just dying laughing to himself and yelling, FBI, open up, and then just laughing at his own joke. None of us
the
get
ma-
it.
All right, so I've been just throwing alluding to this. I am with I don't have this as a fact, but it is a strong belief. Impact smokes hella weed.
Oh, dude, yeah. You see how long his hair's getting?
That's what I've been saying. I'm like, the man's living the Cali lifestyle out here, dude. He's never going anywhere. He loves NA.
He
Like,
owns his tower in Korea, and that's enough. All right, for more MSI stuff, though, we will definitely see Wukong Jungle, I bet. That shit is also pretty strong. I think or even a flex if we'll see a top lane. We'll see some Zoe. We could see Vladimir. I doubt it. I hope we don't see Sejuani unless it's top Sejuani. I think Karthus is going to be. He should be prevalent. If not, then no one understands this game.
that's,
Karthus is so strong right
that's
now.
some brief thing in the patch. It was like 15 buffs, like 3 nerfs, and like 2 adjustments.
They're nerfing Jinx and Zaya, adjusting Poke, Kaisa.
Yeah,
And
I actually like that Kai'Sa change because the
mhm.
like I don't like the building Luden's on her, but it's too OP to not. But I do like that they're actually giving back some of her passive because they nerfed the shit out of that a few years ago, and I was a Kai'Sa one trick, and you felt it. It felt so bad. It felt so bad. But like they giving some of that back and taking some of the W off feels good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the AD meta.
Like you're just gonna build. Like you can go for full evolve and not have to build an AP mythic.
Yeah. Well, that's another beautiful thing about fucking Nashor's Tooth being 100 AP or 80 AP, whatever the fuck it
100.
is.
It's a
That's
flat 100.
100. Yeah, easy evolve. You're welcome,
Easy.
Kaisa.
That's all. Yeah. I'm like, dude, they built that, but no one's doing it. And then they did that W thing, and I'm like,
Honestly, we like people really are sleeping on how strong and good of an item Nashor's Tooth is. I am amazed when I don't see it built on Mordekaiser's like third item, or like when I see people go Lichbane Echo instead of Nashor's. It's just like, man, you guys just don't get it. That item is so good, especially on certain champions.
and it's you definitely feel that attack speed on it. Like you definitely
Oh
feel it.
yeah, it's good. It's a strong item. But yeah, I think that's going to be some of the biggest changes since seeing how most of the time pro scene's kind of slow to adapt. We could see some Pantheon. I'd like it if we did, just because I think he's a cool champion.
I
We
mean,
might see some
if
Poppy, depending.
if Faker plays it, everybody else will start playing it.
I mean, he's apparently spamming it in solo queue now. I'm
Yeah,
not sure if it's OP or if it's just good now or like playable.
it's gonna be playable. It's also like you can spam in a solo queue just to get just like to understand like all the matchups a bit more, and then save it for that pocket pick once you have everything like ingrained. And they say it takes
Things I would
50.
like to see is a Mordekaiser jungle flex pick in MSI. I don't know. I wonder if Mordekaiser will be a
But it's like
prevalent pick
just
in response to some of these
like
things.
Predator.
But I mean, you could do like he if you have anything that has okay gank assist, he's pretty good, especially now with the movement speed buff at level 9 and forward. So,
But that's on his passive.
mhm,
So he needs to get those 3 hits to proc it, and
mhm.
then he gets the moving speed. So he has to get
But
there.
yeah, but there's a lot of gank assists. I'm curious what the top lane meta is going to be on the international level, because we definitely see the tanks coming out from the west, but we don't really see that in the east as much. You're still seeing Gnar, you're still seeing Graves, you're still seeing these things. So I'm curious to see how it's going to balance out once these teams start playing each other and practicing with each other. I think depending on what solo lane metas look like, we could see Poppy with the new buffs being a flex for top jungle support potential. I think jungle's pretty good. I think we definitely should see Karth as jungle. No one likes to play Fiddle, so they probably won't play Fiddle even though he's strong right now.
Has it
Wukong
inspired played a fiddle
definitely.
game?
Yeah, last year he did.
So you could see inspired fiddle at some point.
Hmm.
Um,
These are all viable choices. I'm just
I want
curious
to
to
see
see how we're
JoJo
going to
grow a
shake
set
out
of
the meta.
balls and pick Zoe into caps.
I mean, depending on the matchup, sure. You know, I'm, I'm, I don't know. JoJo is the biggest question mark to me because I want to know how much he can level up with real practice.
Yeah,
Playing
yeah.
in Korea for a month, I think that's the biggest
It'll
variable.
be it'll be the first couple weeks of spring split will be or of summer split will be really telling for how much he took from MSI.
Hmm. Yeah, and I also kind of want and hope that EG is just going to be cracked and for whatever reason just full of it, and they're not going to have an MSI slump, and they're just going to tear in summer. I doubt that'll happen, but it'd be cool if it did. Like at this point, I just like if like Bjergsen doesn't want to wake the fuck up, and if TL doesn't want to reorganize and play like the team that they should with like a cohesive idea and play like with brains instead of the fact that they're like, oh, we're five really good players. If they can't do that, then I don't give a fuck about honestly any NA team, and I just want EG to like just fucking completely level up all year, just keep getting stronger and stronger. I want everyone to lose their minds, like, how is this happening? What is even going on? And then Worlds comes around, and like NA Worlds, EG is actually maybe okay-ish, and we just like they can ride the hype train to like have maybe a showing that's kind of fun, and that would be a great storyline, you know. But we'll see. I'm still curious, and I'm not going to say, "Oh yeah, this is definitely going to happen or could happen." I'm
Purely a
just
hypothetical
glad
thing.
they've been
They
pushed.
don't drop a game and finish the rest of the season MSI and Worlds without dropping another game, and the last team to beat them was FlyQuest.
That'd be so funny, actually. That would be the funniest timeline,
FlyQuest second best
honestly.
team in the world.
World, you can't prove it wrong. Honestly, I would like it like if they made a semifinal at least at MSI, I would be like amazingly hyped, and they could really carry some momentum. If they made a finals, that would be insane. I'm just glad that the rest of this roster is Impact inspired Vulcan, Impact an understood quantity that we know he's good on the international level, inspired. Basically the same thing. Even if they have like performance issues, sometimes inspired is considered the best jungler in the West. So obviously he's of the level, and I do think Vulcan is definitely good enough. He went to Worlds on a bad team from NA. It was fucking clutch with Hooney, Demonte, Lyra, Vulcan, and whoever the fuck their ADC was. You know, what kind of roster is that? And that went to Worlds. So I like Vulcan a lot,
I'm
and I'm
excited for it.
hoping that JoJo could be good.
when is MSI?
MSI,
Two
the end, like
weeks.
yeah, it's like May 20th or May
Okay,
something,
so 3 weeks.
2 3 weeks into May,
All right. So
and then we'll get at it.
so we'll probably you just want to save the next episode for like
A little more MSI stuff.
like a weekend MSI first week of it.
Uh, we'll see. We'll see.
Well,
Who knows?
is MSI a
We'll see
week
what
long?
news comes out. We'll see what news comes out in 2 weeks.
All right,
Time.
all right.
Maybe we'll do like a little short 20 or something in between. Who knows?
So if you made it this far, make sure you like and subscribe to get
Oh yeah.
notified of when we're gonna do the next one. Ring that bell. Ring my
Comment.
bell.
Follow this guy on Twitter or something. He needs people to like his posts and retweet them.
Yeah,
that aren't me.
I got some fire takes I put on Twitter. Some real hot fire takes. Not recently because I do work on the weekends now. But
I
hopefully
do almost nothing on Twitter. I just
hopefully
comment
before
randomly.
Worlds I can I'll have a new schedule. That would be dope.
Yeah, because we gotta go to the finals, man.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, I actually have a vacation time now, paid vacation, good amounts of it too, so I can take that off.
Yep, set that
Um,
weekend.
as long as we can find like a cheap Airbnb or something, and which in San Francisco is not going to be the easiest thing in the world. Um,
I don't know. This could be interesting. We'll see how it all is.
Sleep in cars.
If Evil Geniuses goes to a Worlds final in NA, that would be man, that'd be quite the timeline. That'd be quite the 2022 for LCS. I
I
gotta
gotta
tell
bring
you,
a big
no way it
sharpie,
happens.
and
No
I
way it
gotta bring
happens.
a big sharpie, and convince people next to us to so we can write on our chest, Lord Danny,
Danny.
and we can
Yeah,
just
no,
take
for
our
sure,
shirts
dude.
off and be in
If
the.
fucking if EG wins Worlds this year, I will get a giant Danny mural tattoo. Don't quote me on that. It's definitely not real, but there's no way it's happening anyway. But if that did happen, that would be my level of shock. I would just have Danny's face right here, huge, my entire fucking chest.
It'd be great.
I mean, you can't tell me it's not justifiable at that point.
Get JoJo tattooed on my back like a jersey. It's like JoJo EG.
Dude, be no way. Couldn't happen. Oh yeah, we'll see how summer goes, see what the meta turns into. There's so many questions, but MSI should be fun at least, hopefully. Like the problem is it's gonna be slow starting, with the Rumble stage, just watching bad teams play bad teams and then potentially get smacked by better teams. It's just
I
gonna be
mean,
whatever.
we
But
get to watch G2 EG. So
hopefully we get to see some bootleg or not bootleg boot camp footage, maybe some scrim stuff or something. We can see
I mean,
how their progress is going.
if EG's smart, those are free YouTube videos of just like talking to the team about fucking scrimming in Korea, talking about solo queue in Korea. Just talk to them about it. Get some comms videos. Like,
I'm just ready for the mid beast content.
oh,
Hey, what's
dude,
up, everyone? Jojo Pion here. He's fighting against Faker. He found him in solo queue. Let's see how it goes.
that's actually that's what I'm most excited for about MSI. Is tracking the pros.
Post your progress pics, everyone.
Wonder if we'll get some Cage doing tracking the pros too.
I mean, yeah, if he's done with Elden Ring, move on to something proper.
All right, y'all. Thanks for watching.